Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 12th episode, I believe, of the Top Cut Pod, or 11th, which means that we're near, or we have completed a year anniversary, which is pretty crazy to think about.
Pretty cool.
We've been doing this for a year now, but as always, I'm joined by my amazing coworker and amazing co-host, Lucas. Lucas, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. It's really humid out today, so that's been taking a toll on me. But other than that, I'm great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been getting a little toasty, which is nice, but definitely I noticed today too. Had to go help my brother record something for a school project. And
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was. I was like, oh, let's just walk because it was just near a little soccer field that we live by, and then we started walking. And I was like, oh my goodness, it is hot. It is very warm, but
Oh, yes.
bearable, but still
Hmm.
very warm. But yeah, it's been a year, which is quite nice. It's very exciting for us. I think it's been cool. They've been able to do this for around a year. We did miss month's episode just because a lot of things. I think I was pretty busy just finishing off some things with my grad and
Hmm.
everything, and then we weren't able to find a good time. So I'll apologize for that one. But other than that, Lucas, we have a decent amount of things to talk about. So today we're talking about
Yes.
looking over the results of the Turin special event, with very exciting results. If you're watching, yes, the screen is working. That is a Trevenant in first place. We'll talk a bit about these deck lists and kind of our thoughts on them. We'll then go
Hmm.
over some of the leaks from the 30th anniversary set that has been released by Pokemon. Kind of over our thoughts about some of the leaks that we've seen. We've seen some cards that may be playable or that may be just bulk. We don't know yet. And then we'll talk into our thoughts heading into NAIC, and maybe we'll make some predictions just to have a little bit of fun with how everything's been going. Um, but yeah, Lucas, if we were to get in to Turin, I know a lot of people were talking about Dragapult and its dominance heading into this tournament, and overall the
Hmm.
format. We saw obviously with Indianapolis, Alakazam winning, but in my opinion, the reason that Alakazam won is one because Sarah Jones is a fantastic player, and secondly, she made a deck list of Alakazam that I think was the hardest counter to
Yes.
any sort of deck I've seen in a long time. It's been a while since I've seen a
It's a
deck.
cool deck list.
Yeah, it's a cool
Yeah.
deck list. I'm pulling it up here. It's been a while since I've seen a deck have been so teched against. And before we kind of get into Turin, I just want to hear maybe a bit of your thoughts about just overall how you've been feeling about the format recently with Dragapult being so dominant. And yeah.
Um, I'm excited for new cards to come out. Uh, Hopefully cards that beat Dragapult. That would be the best thing. So I know it's not officially called Ghost Veil anymore, but I'm very excited for Hide and Sneak, which is what it's officially called, which I kind of hate, but it's okay. Ghost Veil's a lot cooler. But I mean, it's fine. Like the format's fine. I like that we have special red card now, so every deck doesn't need to run Unfair Stamp, so you can actually experiment. I think it might be the right word with different A specs. So that's cool. I mean, I enjoy playing Dragapult, but it's too much right now. It's too good. Every deck that beats it loses to everything else. So you either choose to beat Dragapult or beat everything else, which is what I mean. It's not that simple, but it's like in general, I think that's what the format's kind of like right now. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
looking at this
that's
top.
that's that's what I have to say about it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very when you look. I'm just looking at the top 14 of Indianapolis. Of course, we had Sarah Jones win, already coming third with Crustle. Um, but then you go down the list, and all you see is Dragapult, different variations: Dragapult Desmar, Dragapult Blaziken. And then if you look at the stats, 43% of the meta Dragapult was for Indianapolis.
Crazy. Yeah. Wow.
And whenever I see that, I then go, oh man, I feel like I've been gaslighting people because I've been of the opinion that the format's fine. Dragon Ball's dominant, but it's whatever. It's like not gonna be like as bad as Ready Drago or like Broken Lugia. And I was wrong. I'll be the first to admit that I am very, very wrong. I think,
I think it's also just worse at regionals because like playing at locals and like what cups and challenges and stuff, I feel like most people around here are like anti Dragapult. Like they just don't want to play it. So that's been nice, but I've seen a few people post like their matchups at regionals and they like literally the only deck they're playing against is Dragapult the whole tournament. So I think on a local level, it depending of course where you are and where you play, I think it's fine, but regional level it's not great.
yeah, no, it is not great. And we will talk about Turin. I think Indianapolis is also very interesting because it was right
Hmm.
before Chaos Rising, of course. So obviously there's a bunch of new cards and new archetypes that people are going to try. But I think just because the money was there for Indianapolis and we saw a lot of top players go out, like if you look at the top, I mean, yeah, the top six names are ridiculous. Saris Jones, Rahul Reddy, Justin Nordorf, Kira, Alex Hamilton, and then Andrew Hedrick. Noah, Noah S. I think he won a regional
Yeah.
this year too in seventh. Like ridiculous names. So I kind of we're gonna talk about Turin, but just looking at Indianapolis quickly, it's kind of just crazy to see that the biggest names are playing the best decks. I guess Newdorf,
Yeah.
no surprise that he saw in Dragapult. Dusknoir, he played that to Worlds, got second. Obviously, when a deck doesn't get worse and doesn't rotate, unlike some other decks that were top, you're probably going to stick with it, especially when it's one of the better decks in the format. Um, and yeah, the I think you're right. I think we've been pretty lucky, like especially a little bit of a plug by a top shelf. We haven't really seen a lot of Dragapult the locals. It's kind of like
Hmm.
an unwritten rule that we don't really bring it to locals, except Denzel. But Denzel's gets a pass because he's always preparing for some sort of cup. But
Nice.
I think everyone's been trying to play something fun or play something a bit different. I know I
Hmm.
myself, last couple locals I've gone to, I've played Garchomp. The last locals I went to the last week of May, I played Maglucario and went 4-0. And a lot of these decks are really fun. There's definitely still a lot of Pokemon to be played. I think I definitely agree that at the regional level, especially in North America, and now I'm very excited to see, or interested slash scared slash excited for NAIC, which we'll get into in a bit, just to see like what the meta share is going to be like. Chaos Rising does add a couple things. Like yeah, we Beedrill, we get Greninja, we got a couple of these things that are going to be pretty cool. But even when you look at like Champions League Aichi, which was also in the Chaos Rising format, you kind of still see a lot of that's expanded. Not looking at the right list. You still see a lot of really, really dominance of Dragapult. There's still a lot of Dragapult. Some other things in there, which is pretty cool, but Dragapult still won. Zora came in second. So there's still a dominance of Dragapult, and of course, Champions Leagues are also going to be like super competitive, and top level players go there. Um, so I'm a little scared, to be honest. Still, I still feel like I'm not sure how NAIC is going to look out. I just, especially because NAIC they stream all of the rounds. I just do not want to see, and I think it's the reason I haven't watched a lot of regionals. It's that you kind of turn on and it's like every round is a Dragapult or Dragapult
Like when
deck.
I watch regionals, I skim through and I like if I see Dragapult, I go to the next game. Like I don't
Yeah,
want to watch
yeah,
this.
exactly. When I'm exactly, and or like sometimes I like have it on and I'm like, oh, Dragapult, I don't care, and I turn it off. I put a timer for like 50 minutes, and like, okay, next match,
Mhm.
ugh, Dragapult again. Um, yeah, I was, but honestly, I think it's I think living like being a Pokemon player is kind of like living two lives depending on what you are. I think you're a bit more competitive than I am, but you're kind of done with your competitiveness towards the end of the season. I think we're in the same boat. We're both kind of just playing whatever we want because it's fun, but definitely I can
Mhm.
still see if you're like battling out for a Sipin, going to NAIC, playing for Worlds. I can definitely see why people hate the game right now. So I think it's kind of like
Yeah.
the Squidward meme where he's like looking outside of SpongeBob and Patrick having fun like inside his house, and
Oh
it's
yeah, yeah.
like it's competitive TCG players, normal Pokemon players. It's like I'm playing Beedrill, I'm playing Mega Greninja, like straight Mega Greninja.
Yeah.
I'm playing Zoroark. I'm playing all these fun decks.
Hmm.
And then everyone's just like trying to attack against Dragapult.
Yeah.
But something that did kind of break the pattern recently, if we were to look at this Turin special events. So for those who don't know, special events are the same levels of regionals, but the reason that they're called special events is because they do not offer any sort of cash prizing. Um, Obviously, I think with how Pokemon has competitive Pokemon has kind of formed over the last couple years, you would know this a bit more than I do. I think like obviously cash prizing is really important. So I would say probably without the cash prizing, less people are inclined to maybe travel a bit more.
Hmm. Now that I'm thinking about it, I know I told you earlier there was 1,000 people there. It was like Turin was bigger than Indianapolis. Like there was more players at Turin than there were Indianapolis by like 100.
That is
So it's still like huge because I mean anybody like I don't want to say anybody from Europe can go, but it's just like it's a lot easier to
a
access
lot easier than
if you're
access. Yeah.
living in Europe.
Yeah.
Um, but still a huge tournament. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Like surprise, like people wouldn't like not as many people traveled from like North America to go there as like I know a lot more people from North America went to the regionals that were in Europe because there was the cash prizing that could, if they did well, help them pay for their trip, stuff like that. Um, but I was actually surprised when I saw that there was 2,033 players at Turin. I thought it just because it was a special event, I thought it would be way smaller than that. But
Yeah, and I hope I still don't know how Pokemon determine it. I used to think it was due to like gambling laws within countries, but I recently found that that's not true when it comes to like when they determine what's a special event and what's a regional.
oh,
But I mean, I used to think it was
I didn't know
gambling
that.
laws. But
I thought
apparently
that too.
it's
Yeah.
apparently it's not. Apparently it's still. It also it could be gambling laws, but it also depends on like the size of the local plays, like how many shops are running locals in a certain like
Okay.
country and like how competitive it is. So I
Hmm.
hope hopefully if Italy doesn't have any gambling laws to kind of restrict pricing for Pokemon, I would hope that TBCI then kind of looks at Turin and being like, okay, we got 2,033 players. Let's
Hmm.
make it a regionals, and I think that would be really cool. Especially because I think the only bad thing about Turin just felt that a lot of players who are traveling to NAIC aren't going to make like the halfway stop to go to Italy, especially the North American players. They're not going to get out of their way to travel to Italy and then travel all the way back. And
Hmm.
I think the same with a lot of top level Japanese players. I think a lot of them are kind of just like we want to just head over to North America. So I hope maybe with the amount of players, Turin gets a better place in the calendar. Just because I think a lot of people kind of skipped over this, and I think Europe still
Yeah.
suffers from the entire free Europe. Because I mean, it's just funny to see Hop shoved in first, but
Yeah. 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 I mean,
uh,
it's a good deck, but
it's a cool
it's
deck. Lucas,
not as yeah.
do you
Would
want
never have expected that.
to kind of? I don't know how much you've played of it. I've played almost zero of Hop's
I
Trevenant.
haven't played it, but I know how it works.
Okay, then Lucas, how about you
I
give
can.
us a little breakdown
Yeah.
on, and maybe just some insight, even if you're not 100% sure. How was Jose Lopez able to take down a 2033 player tournament playing Hobbs Trevenant when even with Lily Safari, it can't one hit KO? Uh, is that true? Yeah, it can't even one hit KO Dragon Ball.
It does want to
Oh,
KO.
does it?
So
Damage by.
well, you need some damage modifiers, but
Okay.
so I'll just go through the Hops Trevenant line. So the Phantom is you look at it and it does 10 damage and you don't think much of that, but then you remember that you have Snorlax, you have Postwick, you have Hop's Choice Band. So then you can make that 10 damage into 100 damage.
Oh
Not
my
that
god.
difficult. Not that yeah, it's not that hard to make it 100 for 0 energy. Um, so Phantom is very strong. So all you need, so at the beginning of the game, so you pick second with this deck, from as far as I'm aware, just because if you have Phantom, you'd need either an energy or a Hop's Choice Band, and then one other thing. So if you have the Choice Band, then you need maybe Postwick or Snorlax. Then you're knocking out Dreepy's uh, turn one, going second. So it
That's
starts off
ridiculous.
it starts really fast. So um, and then if they take a return KO, then you just go in with Trevenant next turn, and then if you have another choice band, you attack for 0 energy. It's so the base damage of the attack is 130 if your Hops Pokemon were knocked out the turn before, but then again you can get that up. You can get an additional 90 damage from that. So what is that? 210?
210 base, yeah.
220, 220. So you can get hit 220 for no energy, and then you bench Clefairy, and you're hitting a Dragapult for 440 damage. So
More than
pretty good
enough to one hit
for no
KO.
energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is pretty good for 0 energy. Um,
So very strong against Dragapult. And then you also have the second attack of the Trevenant's not bad either. So it's base 90 and it's retreat lock. So strong as well. So Trevenant is just a good attacker, especially for a single prize Pokemon. But and then there's the other supporting Pokemon, like it has the double, just same as Hariyama, just a boss pretty much. Cramorant is very strong. And then the list played a Shaman and Clefairy, which pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, very cool deck. I like it.
yeah, now that you broke that down, always forget with the Hops deck, I think this is the reason why some of these, like Cynthia's Power Rate, for example, and all these things, they feel really broken. But obviously, I think the limiting factor is that they're only for one set of Pokemon.
Right.
But this is kind of ridiculous. I did forget that the Hops choice, I thought it only gave 30 extra damage. The fact that it gives one color's energy, and then obviously they designed it this way purposely, wasn't a mistake. The Horrifying Revenge, you just need a colorist to attack. That's pretty ridiculous. And I can definitely see now why this deck definitely took first. I think something that I really like about the deck is that it has the Ruffian, and that just feels like the ultimate Dragapult kind of, okay, in case you're playing New Upper Energy, which I know is not the biggest play right now, but in case you're playing the New Upper Energy or for other decks, it also kind of helps get rid of some of the effects for other decks, even like Cynthia's Garchomp, for example, or I know the Mega Lucario with the Hero's Cape was another pretty big deal. So I think kind of I didn't realize that Ruffian was so good. Discarding a Pokemon Jewel card and a special energy is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I saw Jose tweeted. He said he used it once in the whole tournament.
So that's definitely getting cut.
Yeah.
So cool card, but it's getting
cool card. Yeah,
it's getting cut.
Yes.
And then the Hassle is always also really
Hassle's
cool.
Hassle's really cool.
So you can use this card only if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Look at the top 8 cards of your deck and put up to 3 of them into your hand. Shuffle the other cards back to your deck. I think for most decks, this is feels pretty weak because, I mean, you have other ways to find out your Pokemon that have been more consistent. They don't use supporter for turn. But for Hops decks, I think it's really cool because, I mean, you can be grabbing your Snorlaxes, you can be grabbing your Trevenants, you can be grabbing a lot more cards that I think is worth the support for turn. Can definitely get you out of really bad situations. And again, if you have the Hops Phantop that's able to maybe be a bit of not walling out your opponent, but able to take those first KOs, like you were saying with your DPs not letting your opponent set up, you're able to then set up your board pretty well. I think it's a pretty interesting card to include. And I mean, again, once that Phantom gets knocked out, you can use it, make your board even stronger. So it's really interesting. I think I did love it when these cards kind of get included, but I still think, again, obviously he won for a reason. I still think maybe there's something probably a bit better you can play, but I mean, it's a cool card.
For sure.
And I have to look into it. I want to see maybe what he said about it in any of his interviews. And then 4 Pokepad, 3 Pokegear, 3 Night Searcher, which I always find really interesting. I know a lot of people don't go over too often, but I think with the loss of Super Rod to rotation, which I'm still upset that they never reprinted it. Why would you reprint Boss's Orders and not Super Rod and Switch? But whatever. I'm not salty about it. I think 3 Night Searcher definitely seems really important in this deck. You never want to miss a turn where you're tagging with Trevenant. And I mean, for those who don't know, Snorlax is my favorite Pokemon. So having a deck that isn't stall that runs the Snorlax. Makes me very intrigued. Also because I got the build and battle one, and I also have the shiny holofoil from the price packs of Snorlax. So it'd be pretty cool to use them in a deck. But yeah, taking this all down is kind of ridiculous. I know that if we look at Brennan Cameraman's list, who came in second with Soaking, I know that the finals was pretty dead just because of the Shaman, which I think I think they only played a 2-game set, and I think for both of those games, Jose found it turn 1, or found it before Brennan was able to attack. Pretty cool list. I mean, I don't know. I've always liked this list. I always wanted to build it, and I kind of regret not building it before Slowpokes were $4 a piece. I've been seeing at some places. Like, I'm not going to name names, and I don't think they're necessarily overcharging. I think it's... I've always made this joke with another one of our coworkers where it's like they've skipped over Stellar Crown, everything else got a reprint except Stellar Crown, and I think we're just seeing that effects of like a playable card in Stellar Crown. It's $4, not because I think these places are trying to scalp or whatever, but it's because no one has it. They haven't. They don't know where they are because the set barely got printed. Other than that, though, I mean, really, really, really cool stuff. Like the Kyurem inclusion, obviously such a fun card. Like just being able to do 110 damage to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon is ridiculous. I every single time I see when an opponent flip over Slowpoke, I always go, "Oh God, I don't have Shaman. Please whiff, please whiff." And rarely they do. That's not their fault. Especially now with the inclusion of Mega Kangaskhan, it's pretty cool. And then obviously with the telepathic energy, you get to find your Latias, you get to secure your other Slowpokes on board. The Smoochum's also really interesting.
Smoochum, yeah.
Yep. You got to search your deck for basic Pokemon, attach them. So it's really easy to set up. You can go second and you're going to have a fine time. Even if you go first, you can have a fine time. Aside from has Code Breaking, Lose Determination, Wondrous Patch, all these really cool things. What I really like personally is that this deck plays Secret Box as the spec. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Secret Box just feels really, really good. It's a ridiculous card that I think people maybe are under exploring just because prize disruption or hand disruption is a very limited and scarce resource right now in the TCG with Iona being rotated. But obviously it worked out for him. He made it all the way to the finals. Just got really unlucky that his opponent just had a card that kind of breaks his entire thing. And then using the Metagross from Chaos Rising is also really, really cool. You may discard. So obviously the way that Slow King works is that you just simply copy and attack from the top of your deck, from a Pokemon from the top of your deck. And Metagross, 150 base, discard all 3 Metal Energy, which for Slowpoke, you just have to discard. Do you have to discard the energy from Slowpoke?
I wish I knew how the ruling worked on this, because I know the reason that it works is because if you choose to do something, you do it to the best of your ability. So you choose to do the extra damage with the Slow King, but then you do the extra 150 damage, but then I don't actually think you need to discard metal energies.
I think it's what a lot of people were kind of talking about.
Because you don't have metal energies, so you can't, the text says discard metal energies, so if you don't have metal energies, you can't discard them.
And yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. And that then brings you to a nice 300, which knocks out most things. And,
the only thing it doesn't knock out that's relevant is Dragapult, but then you just play Clefairy.
Or if you don't want, or if you don't want to give up the 2 price liability, you use Secret Box, or use Sacrifice Megas Code Breaking, or use so many things with 1 Brave Bangle in the deck, which definitely used to get the Dragapult knockout. And then once they knock that out, they put the 2 prize liability, force them to either do they gust or do they go for your attacker. Overall, really, really cool things. I think another thing, it's like being able to, even if you can't get the Metagross out, punch into the Dragapult, but get rid of all the Dragcloaks on the bench, basically making sure they can't follow anything up, especially with straight Dragapult builds that aren't playing rare candies. just slows down your opponent. So this is a really cool build, and I don't know, like this. I know, free Europe, whatever. I know a lot of people like think complain about the European format, but I have a lot of help. It makes me really happy to see this. It makes me hopeful. The NAIC will be hopefully where some people get a little more creative. I'm just scared that people are going to fall into habits, get scared of a big tournament, have maybe be their last shot for the bigger players to get qualified for Worlds, and then maybe resort to something that's a little more comfortable, easier. But
Right.
I mean, pretty cool stuff here. What else I find interesting? Emma Hagen's list, which I like that Limitless just kind of puts a Clefairy because I don't think they knew how to classify this. Lucas, did you ever think you were going to see a deck that would run 4 Kangaskhan, 4 Meowth, and 4 Lotus Clefairy? Because I should never thought that.
4 Meowth seems wild, but I'm sure it's good.
It's yeah.
Like, you need Crispin, like you need Crispin when you need it, you need Boss when you need it. So like I get it, but it's just like 4? You need 4?
It feels that way, and then you're like, wait, this is Emma Hagen we're talking about. The same person who got third or with EV box, and everyone wrote that deck off. I remember she did really well.
This year, what are her regional finishes?
She got in second at Gdansk.
Top 64, top 64, top 64, second, 13th, second, 5th.
Yeah.
That's all this year.
Yeah.
So,
and then like if you
pretty good.
She's pretty good at the game, and even if people want to scoff at 495 or 100th, I'm pretty sure those are still day 2s because she's getting points. So
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Regardless, it's better than me. So I definitely saw the four Meowth, and I was like, "What? How does this work? How can you do this?" And then 5 Stadium, which is also ridiculous, but I think it's also like you need it when you need it, like you were saying before. But then also plays the Moltres. So for those pesky Hydrapples, which is really interesting, plays the Chimpao, which I think she could also use on her own turn, kind of getting rid of maybe liabilities. So he plays the Chimpao.
I think that's like because any like Area 0 deck, I think usually plays Chimpao now, just because like if you're playing Meowth every turn to get your supporter, like you don't want those Meowths on your bench, which is, I know you said like you get rid of your liabilities, which is exactly what it's for.
Yeah. And then a Koraidon EX, which
it's for like fighting weak Pokemon.
Okay. Oh, so you get like the easy KOs on the Fazandipides. Okay, and easy KOs on the. Okay. See, this is what I mean. Where like you look at the list and you're just like, oh, what the heck is this? And then you slowly talk about it. The one thing though, and don't come at me, guys. Like I haven't even won a challenge. I understand that there's levels to the game, and I understand that Emma Hagen is light years ahead of me. 3 Latias and 2 Fez seems a little much. I think like
I think the 2 Fez is fine. The 3 Latias is more confusing for me. Just because I think 2 Latias is usually fine if you really need it. But I don't know why there's 3. Because like, is it? No, it's not, because it's just you don't attack with it.
Maybe in a pinch you could. Maybe you could attack with it. I think it's definitely just, I think the way she designed it is consistency. You're not. It's a deck that doesn't seem smooth, but these lines obviously make sense. I think we're just again like I need to go back to see if you. I hope they put it on a stream, but knowing TPCI, they put Dragapult Mirror Match or an auto lose before they put her game. Shout out to Rahul Reddy and Noah. That was the funniest game of Pokemon I've ever watched. You know for Indianapolis.
because they put Crustle against Dragapult on stream, and it was not
even normal. Straight Dragapult, like straight Dragapult with no response. What are we talking about, guys? Come on. Anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you look at this list and you're like, oh, there's so much going on. But there's also like, this is a list that someone's gonna try to pick up, go to the locals and go 0-4 and be like, this deck is bad. It's like, no, this deck has so many layers to it because there's so many options. But for this deck to work, you have to pick the right option every single time. And I think that's
Mhm.
also what we saw with EV Box, which Emma Hagan obviously has been playing. Even I think up until when I see she was playing it up until the special event Sevilla, so March. So she's taking a bit of a break. It seems like from competitive play, but I'm pretty sure she got her worlds locked up. She got her
Mhm.
invite locked up. And she's also traveled a lot. And being from Europe, I mean, she came to Toronto. She's gone to almost all of the majors in North America. So definitely just probably got that world lock up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna chill. Other people have their fun. But yeah, this
Mhm.
deck, it's one of those decks where you're like, oh, this looks fun. I want to play it. And then to the untrained eye, you play it, go 0-4, lose that matchup you should be winning, go, oh, this deck is bad. It's like, no, no, brother, this
You're bad.
deck, yeah, there is a skill issue in this situation right now. You probably have way too much unnecessary stuff on your bench.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, something I just noticed: no Lily's determination. That's
Oh,
pretty
whoa.
crazy.
Actually,
Um,
yeah, wow. I didn't think about that.
no Lily's determination, which
That must be why there's 3 Laudias.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you probably just want to make sure you're always drawing things. You want to make sure your hand stays big in case. I think again, you want to have these options of these deck. You want to be able to change into a bunch of things if you need to. So
Mhm.
yeah, maybe without Lily's like having the 4, like you were saying, you need your Crispins, you need your bosses. Um, the dust balls are really cool. I think it's really really cool.
Yeah.
Again,
Just
I get
a way to find Pokemon. It's the
yes,
next best thing.
yeah, and also with special red card in this format, that could be really helpful. Again, she doesn't have laser
That's
determination.
true.
She doesn't have all these other cards that or cards that you can shuffle your hand in. So I'm sure there was instances where she had half of her Pokemon in her deck. She gets special red card, but she gets into Dusk Ball, and then she's still able to find everything. And the one copy of Prison Tower is also really cool. Discarding
Yeah.
your card, drawing. Obviously, with Wondrous Patch, you can just get rid of those psychic energies and have no worries getting them back.
Mhm.
Yeah, this energy split's also pretty insane. And again, I think this is a deck where if you don't know how to play it, you're not going to do well with it. Um, Having one water energy, knowing when to place energy, knowing like where to put energies. I'm also assuming she probably did some attacking with Kangaskhan, which she really needed to. Like all these things that to an unseasoned player, even though I don't think I could pick this deck up and do well. I don't have all these cards. I don't know where. It must be nice in Europe to be able to find for Meowth. Apparently, like it's nothing. Um, but if I were to pick this deck up, I would not do well with it. So shout out to Emma Hagen for really really cool stuff. And did you find anything else? Did you see anything else interesting? See if
Like
Dragapult?
any other lists?
Yeah.
Uh, no. There's like a Typhlosion if you scroll down far
No.
enough that has Dracloaks in it, which is cool, but that's not new. Like
Yeah, this is
that's
pretty.
it's like Typhlosion with Dracloaks is like that's just kind of been a thing.
Yeah, it has been a thing.
So
The show red card. Oh,
yeah.
another secret box. That's pretty cool. I do like seeing that. I think. While I was listening to the Uncommon Energy podcast this morning, that they were talking like Azul was kind of ranting about how there is a lack of diversity when it comes to ace specs, which kind of makes ace specs as a concept feel pretty bad because it's like, what's the point if everyone's only playing on fair stamp? Which honestly, that was pretty valid, and I also like understood where the sentiment was coming from. So pretty cool to see Secret Box, and like I don't
Mhm.
know, man, Secret Box is so good. It is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
Um,
very good.
I've been using it in Festival Lead, and like I didn't understand it at first, and then I played a game online, and then I went, "Oh, I have game because I have Secret Box. I just get like I get Festival Grounds, I get Brave Bangle, I get
Mhm.
Black Bolts fighting, and then I get
Mhm.
Switch or Tool Scrapper, and oh, I have game. That's ridiculous. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
So really cool. Uh, yeah, pretty standard list actually. I didn't really look at it and take the time to look at it, but it's pretty standard. But I mean, I can finally update my Ethan's Typhlosion deck. I don't think I've updated that since like I want to say 2 months before rotation. I think I haven't updated in the new year because I looked at it
Yeah.
recently because I was looking for rounding for cards. I was like, oh my god, this is definitely old.
Yeah.
Speaking of old, I had the most. Shout out to the people over at Dark Fox. I know that Anastasia owns it, and she comes to our place to play local sometimes. They were so patient with me. Apparently, I made 3 accounts with them, and I'd ordered, and I had two separate orders from two separate accounts, and the guy was really sweet, and I felt silly for having three different accounts with them, but they were really nice. Shout out to them. But yeah, overall pretty interesting. Let's see the meta share. Okay, Lucas, don't look at it.
Oh, okay, okay.
How much do you think Dragon Ball?
I think I know. I honestly think I know.
Okay,
so I think it's like 33 or it's in the 30s, right?
39.16%.
Okay, yeah.
Of Dragon Ball. Jesus. For phase two.
Okay, yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I did see the day one. Day one, it was 29%.
Day one is 29%. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool to see. Oh yeah, because they split it up here on Limitless. Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you just if you're on the statistics section, just scroll down.
Oh, okay.
It shows all the pictures.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And day two having 40%, and it not winning is also, I think, just a testament to everyone else who played. Those decks are hard countered it, or just, I don't know, did really well into it. Honestly, a little disappointed with the lack of Mega Greninja and Beedrill. That kind of sucked to see. I was a very big Beedrill believer, but can definitely see 58th is its highest finish.
What I've heard is Riley McKay really likes Beedrill. He said if he wasn't playing Dragapult, he'd be playing Beedrill.
We're gonna see Riley McKay pull up to NAIC with Beedrill EX because he already has it. He already has his invite locked up. At that point, just become like Tord Reckless, you know. I think that's like the aura you get once you win the World Champions. You can just rock up and play whatever. Or what we're gonna know is Azul's gonna win his first major event. It's gonna be NAIC, and then he's gonna qualify the Worlds.
Yep, that's gonna happen.
it's like okay, cool, man. Like, what are you talking about? Wasn't able to farm in Australia because obviously Australia just gets the best Australian players who are just always really like such a concentrated group of like top level players in Australia, and they get all the Japanese players who are also ridiculous at this game. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Turin. Like, pretty cool stuff overall. Like, congratulations to Jose Lopez for such a great deck building. But again, good players do well. Look, if you look at the name, you're gonna see these names over and over again, which when it comes to having a card game, it's cool to see that because it's Dragapult 40, 30.
Means it's not as luck based if the good players are always doing well.
Yeah, and also, like, again, it shows that you can pick up Dragapult. You're not going to win if you know how to play it. You're not going to win if you know how to sequence it. And that's not me trying to be rude. I'm just like, hey, that's the name of the game, and that's great. That's really cool to see. Yeah, pretty cool. Raging Bolt made top 4, which is pretty cool. So shout out to my Raging Bolt enjoyers. Okay, so I think now we're going to transition over to probably the most interesting set that's going to be releasing in the next couple of months, September 16th, actually, because that will be a universal release date for the 30th anniversary set. Lucas, I don't really remember how the 25th anniversary set was like. I wasn't really collecting Pokemon back then. Were you collecting with the 25th anniversary drop?
Yes, I was, but I mean, it wasn't like you could get it. Like, it was easy to get. Like, there wasn't like a huge. I mean, well, 25th anniversary was what, 2021? So like right after COVID. So that was like, it was quite popular. Just because that COVID was the big boom of when Pokemon, from my point of view at least, got like way more popular, because that was Logan Paul doing all that stuff and nobody had anything to do during COVID, so they played Pokemon. That's what I did. Yeah, I mean, like, this is this set'll probably be, I mean, it's obviously going to be really hard to get, but I think they've done cooler things with this set than they did with the 25th anniversary set.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm looking at like their premium collection or whatever. I really hope it. I mean, The
We're
box
not
arts.
getting this premium
We're not
collection.
getting it. Of course, we're not.
No.
Damn it. Oh gosh, they actually
Yeah.
have nice. Look at the dice, Lucas. Look at the dice. They're actually
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
They actually like
Yeah.
look good. They're not recycled from
Mhm.
billions of years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get like an ultra premium collection. I know it's not like I'm pretty sure it was confirmed that we're not getting like the Pikachu one.
That's
Like it's not gonna be the Pikachu
this
one.
is
That's it.
crazy. They had the mat looks like it's double stitched, and they have like an enclosed deck box that,
Yeah.
and a token holder,
It's cool.
and a playmat
Mhm.
holder, and special colored burn and poison token. I can't look at this without knowing that I can't buy it. Regardless, even if
Yeah.
it was here, the chances of being able to buy are not high. Obviously,
Right.
30th anniversary, a lot of hype, a lot of cool things. We've seen some like news about it with like some reprints of really cool sets. I know they're doing like the
Mhm.
30 Pikachu's, and every pack is gonna have a Pikachu in
Yeah.
it. That's good. That's really really fun. I like collecting
That
like
is
just
cool.
miscellaneous Pikachu cards. I think I have a page in my binder. I really want the
And they're
Pikachu.
not like regular, like they're like they have their own like texture to them. I saw for when they first announced when they first announced it, I thought it was just gonna be like a regular like common or uncommon Pikachu, but they're like cool Pikachus. Um, like the texture on them, the hollow foil is it looks like it's I think original to those Pikachus, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then if it's really cool that they also on top of the normal set numbering, they also each have their own number too, which I think is going to be really cool for people trying to like
Hmm.
master set this or just trying to trade in general. It's just cool to kind of keep track if you can collect all the Pikachu's.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think it's every one of these is going to have a set. I like that they have all the different styles. I'm just on like the official Pokemon website. They have like the fat Pikachu represented with him being stuck between the staircase. Then we have the Pikachu that we're more familiar from the anime, and then the one that we're more getting kind of more familiar-ish with like the promotional stuff. I know the regional map kind of is going back to the little skinny Pikachu, so
Hmm.
that's pretty cool. And then
Yeah.
the SRs are also beautiful. The Lapras SR
Yeah.
it looks really cool. The Drifloon looks really cool. I don't know who at TBCI loves Lycanroc, but that Lycanroc card is sick too.
It's pretty cool.
So a lot of really cool things there. Obviously some reprints from iconic cards, which again it's gonna be interesting how they are going to incorporate it within the normal set, but we'll see how that goes out.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be similar to like Classic Collection from 25th anniversary.
Mm,
Like you're not guaranteed one in every pack, but it's not like super uncommon to get one
yeah,
item, but I think it'll probably be my guess is it'll be similar to like the hit rates from 25th anniversary
that makes a lot of sense.
for those
Now,
cards.
Lucas, how about
Mhm.
you walk us through the two Pikachu's that were revealed over this past weekend with the most recent Japan event? Um,
Mhm.
how about you go walk us through them, and then we'll see if maybe we can see their competitive liability, maybe.
Yeah. So the first one, so the one with Pika Pika Parade as its first attack, pretty cool name.
That
I
is a
like
pretty
it.
cool name.
Um, so its first attack for colorless. Search your deck for as many basic Pokemon as you like and put them onto your bench. So it is Precious Trolley as an attack.
Yeah,
Seems pretty good.
that seems
Uh,
pretty good. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, like I think it's not like a card that's gonna go in every deck. Like it'll be a very like I think it will be played. It'll just be like like probably in a deck that you would expect Trolley to be in. Like it will be in those decks. Like you want to start it, you want turn one Pika Pika Parade, set up your whole board, and then go from there. So it's pretty cool. And then its second attack is meh, like 200 damage, discard all energy for 3. So you're not going to be playing it for that attack.
yeah.
If you're going to play it, you'll play it for the first attack. Um, so that's pretty cool. I have no idea what it would even be good in right now, but
I
I'm
think
sure at some point
just because we
it will be
spent some time talking about Emma Hagen's list, I mean, could you add that for member consistency?
good. It's true.
Have like
Yeah.
the energy switch option, maybe bring Abs. Like I think about a card like this, and I kind of think about like, oh, like what's Absol kind of missing right now? And I think what Absol is missing is like being able to one study the energy off of obviously with turbo energize. But I kind of
Mhm.
think about like having something that is that being able to use unfair stamp and being able to have unfair stamp available. And I think this card kind of lets you do that. And maybe
Mhm.
you now don't have to spend so much resources just trying to get your Pokemon out. You're able to get everything you need out, get your Latias, get your Mega Con, your Absol, turn to Crypt
Mhm.
Spin, find Energy Switch, kind of being able to do a
Yep.
bit cooler stuff with this deck and with this card. So it's really interesting. And then the second one, I'll quickly go over it here. There's
Sure.
two of them. I don't know how. I wonder. They're just both Pikachu EX, I guess. Don't know how they're going to be differentiated, but that's going to be. They look pretty cool. So
Mhm.
for a lightning energy, you may attach as many basic energies from your hand to your Pokemon in any way you like. Now, I think a lot of people kind of read that and they're like, "Oh, that sounds pretty cool. That's whatever." I did think about how cool it would be to synergize this with the Sylveon EX that's coming out in the set, which for 3
Yeah.
energy, Colorful Harmony, this attacks 50 damage for each type of energy, each type of basic energy attached to all your Pokemon. And even if you're
Mhm.
reading that, you might be like, why is that important? Why does that really matter? A lot of people forget about this card because it has been used in so long. Energy Search Pro is still a viable ace spec within the format.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Energy Search Pro does, it just lets you search for one basic energy type of each type. So one basic energy of each type. Um, I mean, if we were talking about Absol Blocks before, we can talk about Absol Blocks now. If you're able to
Yeah.
find, you can use
Yeah.
like get Cyrano in play, get some Dust Balls, get like your entire bench set up,
Mhm.
and then you Energy Search Pro, and then all of a sudden you have so many threats on the board. I mean, we are just talking about like the
Mhm.
Sylveon attack. Sylveon, 50 damage for each type of energy attached to your Pokemon. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I feel
Um,
like it'll be good in like an EV box deck
yes.
because I mean like not my idea. Like I've heard a bunch of people talk about this. Just there's so many evolutions right now.
Yeah. And
So you have so many options. So if you can use this attack to get whatever type of energy you want attached to your Pokemon, and then you're just kind of you attach them to all your EVs, and then you're ready to go for probably the whole game. So I think that's really cool. So not just the Sylveon, like you would obviously use the Sylveon because 50 for each type is really good, but then you just play like you'd figure out, oh, what type is the deck I'm playing against weak to? They're weak to dark. Okay, I'm gonna play Umbreon this game.
yeah, gives you a lot of options. And I think I don't know. I think this is kind of like they're heading to the right direction. I think they're trying just to print a bunch of cards that by themselves look really silly, and then you kind of look at actually what's available in the card pool, and you're like, oh, Energy
Yeah.
Search Pro is a card still. How can I incorporate
Mhm.
this? And I mean, if we have players like Emma Hagen being able to find play a list that has four Meowth and be able to get fifth at a 2000 like a 2033 player tournament, players like that are going to be able to find something to make a consistent Sylveon box deck. Like EV
Yeah.
box, I think the only reason it kind of fell off was its damage being limited,
Mhm.
and the format being kind of a lot shifting again to like that one hit KO, especially Goldango. I think we kind of haven't really seen it just because I think it's a bit clunky compared to all the other top decks. But now we have this in play. We have all the other EVs that are still going to be viable, like the one that can evolve the turn it's played, the one that can the EX that can evolve into something else. Like there's again like
Mhm.
so many options. Someone's gonna crack something. Someone's gonna find something and
Yeah.
find really
Something's
cool.
it's yeah. It's gonna be. I think these Pikachu's are going to be played. I don't think like they're not like the Mewtwo where they just kind of suck. But these are pretty good.
Yeah,
I like it. I'm happy about this.
yeah. I'm happy about this. It's like
Mm.
okay, we're printing, and then something I just thought of now. I don't know what the next era of Pokemon's gonna bring because we're still printing EXs, and that I'm fine with that. Like I'm totally fine with the fact that we're
Mhm.
still printing EXs, but it feels like we have had EXs in the game for a really long time, and there seems to be no maybe new mechanic.
I
Uh,
think with what's the new generation called? Some
Winds and
wind and
waves.
waves. I bet they're gonna stop EXs. I think they're gonna come up with something new.
I hope so. I
That's
like.
my
I
my
do.
prediction.
That's
Yeah.
true. They're really cool.
Mhm.
Obviously, with the next
Mhm.
rotation, all Terra Pokemon except Koraidon EX, for whatever reason, will be rotated. Yeah, I remember
That's so weird.
it's a J. It's a like, yeah, it's
Wait, let me look.
J.
I believe you. I want to look. No, that's crazy actually. Oh yeah, because it came out in Ascended Heroes.
Came out of Set of Heroes.
Weird. That's weird that they're all
So
rotating except for one.
there'll not be a lot of Terra Pokemon play.
Yeah.
Team Rocket's and Mimikyu. I hate it when they print cards like Team Rocket's and Mimikyu because it's like, okay, rotation happens. It's gonna
There's
be
no point.
it's gonna be legal for an entire year, but it's not gonna be able to do anything. It's like that Spirit Tomb
Mhm.
that's like prevent all attacks of
It's like the Pokemon V
yeah,
Spiritomb, right?
yeah, the
Yeah,
Pokemon V
yeah.
Spirit Tomb. It's like okay, cool. I love the memes. Like little tangent. I love the memes that came out of rotation day because everyone kept posting that and like, oh, the best card in the format's being rotated. I'm like, that's good. And then there's this Greninja EX, which of course Mega Greninja didn't perform as well as we thought in not only Turin but in Japan. But it's Greninja
Mhm.
EX for one Water Energy, Stealthy Slash. This acts 3 damage for one of your opponent's Pokemon, for each damage counter on that Pokemon. So
Pretty good.
that's pretty good when you compare it to Mega Greninja. That lets you
Hmm.
put 6 damage counters, but that's not an attack. That's its ability. So you're gonna be able to be doing a decent amount of damage, and it's damage. So a little
Yeah,
mix.
I think people are saying like if you get two of the Mortal Shurikens off, the the new Greninja knocks anything out. Like no matter how much HP it has, if you get two, like if you get 120 on a bench Pokemon, it's like
Yeah,
it's dead.
that's crazy. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that
Hmm.
is. That's a lot. It is so much you can do.
Yeah.
Surfing Beach is still
Hmm.
gonna be in rotation for a bit. So again,
Yes.
like they're printing really cool things.
Hmm.
Um, I think we're going to be headed into a very interesting format with this. And I think once rotation hits next year, obviously we're so far away from that. I just think about like all the cards that are in the like in the pool right now. I'm like, there can be anything. Like anything can come up from it, and they're only gonna be releasing more
Yeah.
cards. Um, but yeah, I think that's kind of it that we have for today.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I think so.
yeah, kind of it. Final thoughts on anything, Lucas, that we talked about?
Mm, not really. Please come to our mid-year celebrations though. Those
Yes.
tournaments are going to be really fun.
Yes.
Just a shout out to our store.
Yes, the mid-year celebrations are so much fun. If you've ever been to a locals and you're wondering how does everyone get those Pikachu dice, I can't find them anywhere. Nowhere selling them. I don't know actually if they come out this year with the mid-year
I'm
celebrations.
sure it'll be something different, but I
Hopefully,
used to
or
have a bunch of them
if
on
you're
my
always
desk. I was gonna finish.
walking around and you're like, how do people have these like cool tokens or these cool cards? It's because they play in the mid-year celebration. They're so much fun. I I like them a lot. I also know that the pricing for them, at least there are. So I'm not gonna say exactly. It's pretty good.
It's gonna be good.
It's pretty
It'll
good
be fun.
pricing. So for sure, come up to that.
And
And
there's an exclusive playmat. So
oh, oh yeah, there are play
that's pretty
mats
cool.
now.
Hmm.
So there's a lot to win, even if you want to be like a more competitive player, but if you're just a bit more casual, just another cool thing to add
Hmm.
onto your locals experience. Yeah, shout out to the major celebration for sure. I think it's gonna be really, really interesting.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think that's kind of it for us today. So thank you guys so much for watching. Yep, like Lucas said, come out to our major celebrations. There's always a blast. They're always such a fun time.
Hmm.
And I think that's it. I think that's all we have for this episode. So we'll see you guys next month, where I think we'll be just before Worlds. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. We gotta talk about some Worlds and see how
Hmm.
some things might shake up with Pitch Black being legal. Oh, also, quick side note: Pokemon Center queue for Pitch Black was not great. I don't know how they got. I don't know how they got worse. That's the most frustrating thing. It's like they got
Yeah.
worse.
I
Um,
told so many people about it. I'm like, guys, can you just please, one person that gets in, can you please give me an ETB? Of all the people I told, I think one person got in.
yeah,
Like it was so many people missed it.
yeah. It
It was bad.
was not. It. I think people. I don't know. I don't know what they do this. I don't know why they do this. Anyways, that's an entire episode you can talk
Mhm.
about. But to leave it on a
Yep.
positive note, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'm pretty sure it's actually episode 11. So next year also, next month will also be our anniversary, which maybe we'll plan something cool. Maybe we won't. I'm not sure.
We'll see.
I'll talk to the powers that be and see what we can do. But yeah, thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next month. Bye, everyone. Have a great time.
Bye.